Pardon me, I'm gonna use my phone. I'm not rude. This is where I have my notes. It's unlike when I converse with my wife, where she actually is rude. What's up? All right, what should I talk about? Hello, my name is Fred. I used to attend Redeemer, but we moved. So, yeah, now we sold out and I'm going to Willow Creek. But yeah, so Richard invited me to talk a little bit about, this is a Valentine's Day singles thing, so about my life as a single man and, as a compare and contrast with my life as a married man with kids, but I will do the best I can. I'm not really as, I didn't memorize this or something, so that's why I'm looking at these notes a little bit off the cuff. Like right now, I'm saying things that I didn't plan on saying right now, So it's actually been a while since I was single, and honestly, I'm just guessing like, are most of you here single, or if most of you people here are married, then this has not been a successful event that Richard has planned. There's more panelists than single people here, but I'm assuming most of you guys are single, but honestly, when I remember when I was single, I pretty much remember only the good parts of being single, and not really a lot of the bad parts of being single. So, all the freedom, the ability to hang out with friends, and all like the great things about being single, and very little about the soul-crushing, dark loneliness that is the black than the deepest void of the abyss, but it's neither here nor there. And honestly, though, when I was single, I still remember though all the times when a lot of my the women I knew, the ladies, they all said, "Man, that Fred, he's a great guy. He's a great guy." And I was like, that made me feel really good because who doesn't want to be called a great guy, right? And so yeah, great guy. And single guys here, have you been called a great guy by your female friends? Yeah, great guy. Well, hate to break it to you fellas, but it's not a compliment. Being called a great guy is not a compliment. So you women out there, you know what I'm talking about. You can't fool me. Now that I'm an old married man, I know your tricks. See, fellas, you might not realize this, but women are smarter than you think. They know that calling you a nice guy and being referred to as nice is the ultimate insult. So pretty much what they've done is replace the word nice with the word great. So when you're being called a great guy, you're actually being called a nice guy. So think about that for a second. So yeah, you can see, right? That's not really, yeah, it's not a compliment. Yeah, because women, they know that being called a nice guy is an insult, so they just replace nice with great. So I'm sorry, brother. They just view you as a brother if they call you a great guy. And here's how you could prove it or test it. The next time one of your female single friends calls you a great guy, come up to you and say, "Oh, really? You think I'm great? Then how about we go for some coffee this Friday? You might." And then you'll notice a reaction, hem and haw, and yeah, she's not speaking in tongues, she's just trying to think of something. You caught her, and you know now that she doesn't really think you're great, so, and then she might cover with a, you're a great guy, but just not great for me. No, it's not you, it's me routine. So you could then proceed to be like, well, okay, but you still think I'm a great guy? Oh yeah, sure. Then surely a great guy for one of your many single lady friends, right? That you could set me up with. And then if she hesitates again, then you know the truth. You are not a great guy. She's just Andrew, I see you've used this tactic. Yeah, I'm checking my notes here. So, yeah, guys, you know what I'm talking about, man. And I guess it could apply to women too. I don't want to be like, sexist or something like that, so I guess maybe it might be even worse or something like that. Well, there's one thing a little bit worse than being called a great guy, and you know what that is? And I'm sure some of you guys have heard that too, and some of you ladies have used. and that's being called a funny guy. Because that is the worst compliment that you could tell someone. It's the ultimate non-compliment to call someone a funny guy. Because, it's like, yeah, describe John over there. Oh yeah, John, that funny guy. And you know John, he's not even that funny. But it's just like, it's the compliment that women give when they cannot think of any other compliment in their mind. So they will say something like, yeah, he's not the successful guy, he's not the handsome guy, he's not the wealthy guy, he's not the talented guy, he's not the compassionate guy, and because this is Redeemer, he's not the godly guy, he's just the funny guy. And he's not even that funny. So, and you don't really, you're not even, so if you're called a funny guy, you have it a little bit worse, my friends, because you don't even warrant the great term. So it's a little bit worse than funny. But of course, the worst thing you could be called is a nice guy. That's like the third after great and funny. And but actually, you know what I'm thinking? It's funny, if you think about funny and the word funny and be called funny guy, a lot of the surveys that you read about like what women look for in men and things like that, they all say something like, yeah, I want to find a man with a great sense of humor, or a funny guy who can make me laugh, and that's always like number 1 or 2 listed in like those surveys that you read in women's magazines. So these famous models or actresses and stuff, they always say that it's like funny guy, and I always used to think that was a bunch of baloney, a bunch of BS. I mean, how would you really choose a funny thousandaire over a born millionaire? I don't think so, right? So that's the case. So this part is not going to be that funny, and I'm just telling you my so that's what I used to believe. I'm like, oh, that can't be true. It's just something that people write to make guys feel better about themselves who have no other talent except to be called a great or funny guy. So that's how I always viewed it. But actually, when I was dating my now wife, I actually asked her, I was like, what are some things that you like about me? I mean, aside from my fantastic good looks and something like that, and my awesome sense of style. And then she said, yeah, actually, it's compared to my exes and stuff, you are, one of the few guys that have consistently made me laugh. And then I was like, what? Really? I guess it might be true. So there is hope for you yet. If you are a funny guy and you have no other redeeming qualities, perhaps you should work on that. And so it worked for me, so it might work for you. Okay, let's see where I am on my thing, because I'm not playing Cross Your Road right now. I'm actually looking at my notes. Oh, I forgot to mention a couple of other funny jokes here. The time has passed, so I'm sorry. So the surveys are true and stuff. So anyway, so you might be thinking, oh, so now I am married with kids and everything like that. So you guys are single. You're gonna have the Q&A later. So you might be wondering, so how is married life? Do you enjoy being married? And I'll answer honestly, yeah, I loved being a married couple. And so not that I am married or was a married couple, and you notice I just used the past tense because we were a married couple for about 1 month before my wife got pregnant. So, and that's the 1 month I loved being a married couple. And so you might ask, do you enjoy being a married couple with kids? And their answer to that is no, I do not. So, I wonder how that crowd will take this and stuff like that. Yeah, so being single is way better than having kids. Just single people out there, count your blessings. It's great being single. So it's really tough actually, and my kids are super cute and they're very easy to take care of, but yet I don't want to take care of them. And my wife doesn't want to take care of them. My in-laws don't want to take care of them. We have to pay money to people, babysitters who want to take care of them. It's not an easy job. It's tough, and I'm going to tell you what it is. It's like you might be thinking like, oh yeah, I've heard like, oh, count your blessings when you're single, because grass is always going to be greener on the other side. So it's true. Like when I was single, I was like, oh, I can't wait to be married. But now that I'm married with kids, I'm like, man, it was nice being single. So, so it's true and stuff like that. And probably later on in the QA, they're gonna tell you, when you ask questions about that. They're gonna say all these good things about having kids and everything like that. But I'm telling you the truth, it's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. Delay it for as long as you can. Okay, finally, a bit of advice for single people. Count your blessings, I ticked that off from Valentine's Day. Yeah, then you had freedom. Like when you're single, you can just do what you want, hang out with friends. You can watch Star Wars the night that it comes out. You could have decided 5 minutes before this event started, hey, do you want to go to the coffee house for Redeemer? Yes, let's go. Whereas I had to plan it 1 month in advance, like, because you can't just do stuff. So have fun, be single, and do stuff. So, and finally, advice for single people. I don't know if the Q&A will talk about that or just talk about being married, but this is actual advice for you, single people. So just for all you men and women, just nothing to do with men. You just, if someone catches your eye, take a chance, ask them out, ask them for coffee. It's got to start somewhere, right? You don't want to, start small, start from the beginning. Don't be afraid of rejection. If someone asks you out, don't automatically say no. Who knows? It might be a good time. It's just coffee, and who knows? So that's that. And I should do the QA, and I'll tell you what it really is like. Anyway. All right, thanks. Bye.
Thank you for that wisdom that just sunk into my soul. Thank you for the honesty.